What's up, guys? Welcome back to Motivational Monday. It's been a minute, and we definitely have heard and appreciate just the requests of like, man, I've missed Motivational Monday. So yeah, thank you for that. Like sometimes you wonder if you do stuff and people hear it or not. So yeah, thank you. That really motivating for me to be able to do this for all of us, right? It's a lot of times when I'm talking to myself also. It's not like I'm super motivated all the time. It's just these thoughts help me as well. So, and I kind of told you I wanted to do them as they more organically happen. And that's exactly what this one is. So I went to Small Tire Gangstas a couple weeks ago. I just really wanted to support Jimmy Dale and Poland and that crew of people down there, even though we couldn't take the car and, we had all this stuff going on. I still wanted to be there to very much support the community that supports us. I think that's a sidebar conversation, but like if you want to sell something to somebody, you have to support that somebody. You have to be there for them. You have to, show up when no money's involved, right? Be there for the community. And I think that through the kind of tragedy that we went through with Callie Nate, I felt like it was even more important for us to be there. Just our community was going, and it still is, going through so much. And it's a lot to deal with, especially, when you're getting ready to strap into the very thing that took someone that we love away, right? Like I think I can speak for everybody when we're kind of all holding our breath for that first trans break release of the weekend, But yeah, just felt like it was important to be there. And anyway, Friday kind of went off, without much of a hitch, I would say. They ran a little bit later than they wanted to. Things happened. But the event was rolling. And, man, that place, it's not a lot of facility. So kind of some interesting things for them to deal with. And a lot of people coming in, man. Like actually on Friday night, the place reached capacity. They could not pull any more cars into the place. So that now they're like lining the streets and people are just walking in. And this was still at like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Like Texas, you're built differently than Kentucky, I'll say. I go to bed early, like these people are just coming out to get going when I'm going to sleep, or I've been asleep for a couple hours, really. So, yeah, you guys, awesome. It was insane to watch that happen. So, needless to say, nobody got a ton of sleep on Friday night. So then we roll into Saturday, which is really the big show, right? It's the main event. And it's probably 1 or 2 o'clock, and people are really starting to roll in. Cars are getting ready to go through tech. And, the event is getting going, And it seems like everybody's looking for Jimmy Dale. And his real name's Tom, so it's still kind of, I don't know. I don't know whether I should call him Tom or Jimmy Dale, whatever. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Everybody's looking for him. And, him and Poland are hosting the event. Nobody can find Tom. So I needed to talk to him about a couple things. And I, like everyone else, couldn't find him. So I call him. And I'm like, dude, where are you? I just need to chat with you. And he said, man, I'm fishing. And I'm like, you're what? Like, you're throwing a party and you're not here and you're fishing? Like, where are you fishing at? So he tells me there's like this little creek that runs beside the racetrack. And he's down there with his friend Cowboy, which Cowboy's an older dude that he's awesome, man. He's great. And he literally works on a ranch. And anyway, I steal I steal a grom, and I go out and I find Jimmy Dale. And he's fishing with his buddy Cowboy and another guy from North Carolina. And it was just kind of something to roll up on, right? Like all this craziness that's happened over here, and the ringleader of the circus is over here fishing. And I roll up and, Tom tells me he goes fishing almost every day with his buddy Cowboy. He makes time to do that. And I rolled up at a great time. The guy from North Carolina was actually just reeling in a fish. I'm a dumb fisher. I don't fish. So it looked like a great looking fish. They said you couldn't eat it because of the proximity of, to the racetrack and all that stuff. But, and there just happened to be like all these beautiful flowers right there too. Like it's just a beautiful scene. And, so I asked Jimmy Dale, I'm like, hey man, like everybody's looking for you and you're fishing. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, man, I know that everybody's going to be looking for me all day. And I have a lot to think through. And I just wanted to take a moment and release my stress and get in a right frame of mind to deal with all these people. And I just thought, I'm like, man, that's beautiful. A lot of times in life, like we get so overwhelmed with all the things that we have to do. And like, I know what it's like to put on an event. We've done it. So I knew exactly what he was about to walk into and what he was avoiding for a little bit. And it is true because people take pieces of you all night, right? Like and for him, like his character is Jimmy Dale, right? Like he has to put on, a certain way that he interacts and people kind of expect him to be a certain way. And that takes a lot of energy. So I kind of sat back and I thought about that moment, and really we can learn a lot from that we don't give ourselves enough breaks to prepare for these big moments. We think it's almost selfish of us to go out and, not take that time for ourselves, or we feel like we just frankly don't have time. I'm just so busy. And if you open up the Word of God, I'm not going to reference anything specifically, but if you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which is the Gospels, and kind of interacting and living with Jesus, you'll see that Jesus went away to quiet places quite often. He took time to, there's a great mystery there. It says that Jesus was 100% God and 100% man. That really doesn't make sense to us. But he knows what it's like to be tired. He knows what it's like to kind of get ready to give away pieces of himself. And he would go and he would prepare for those times. And if you believe the way that I think, like, or even if you don't, like, the creator of the universe, if he has to take time to prepare and be by himself to give his best self away, then we can probably do the same thing. And even I noticed that I talk about Genesis a lot, but in the beginning it just says that, God created, now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was hovering over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the water. And in that moment, I kind of think that God was preparing for what he was going to do. He was taking that minute to go fishing with Jimmy Dale, right? Like, get his thoughts together and then proceed on. So for this Motivational Monday, what I want to challenge you to do is soak in those moments and give yourself time to soak in those moments, right? Like sitting next to that water and walking up on those guys fishing and then enjoying the day with each other to get ready for the craziness was something beautiful to see. And I hope that you have those moments in your life. I hope that you can take the time to prepare. And then once you prepare for that moment, and that moment happens, your big race is happening, don't forget to pause and look around at the moment that you helped create, because it's a beautiful thing. So we love you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.